Welcome to round 4 of Being Human. Today I'm going to be talking about relationships. And if you've just come out of a relationship or if you're trying to manifest a relationship, we can do a little bit of growth and reflection on previous relationships and maybe a little bit of healing and some self-love to spend a bit of time by ourselves and then manifest and attract a new relationship. Or just spend that time by yourself and just really enjoy this video. First of all, I'm just going to talk about this bit I've put at the bottom here. This saying, if we can practice this as much as we can, that'd be wonderful. And fully, truly understand it. And it's offense is only taken when a judgment is made upon yourself or someone else. And I'll say it again, offense is only taken when a judgment is made upon yourself or someone else. I'll let that sit and allow that to grow into your mind a little bit. If you don't know or if you haven't heard that saying before, please take that and run with it and try and remember that and practice it every day. So we're going to be talking about the relationship triangle. And this is something I've been studying and been practicing and preaching and teaching for maybe 10 or 11 years. And the wonderful thing about the relationship triangle is it makes total sense if you understand it. So at each corner we have a different subject area, and one being friendship, the next one is intimacy, and the last one is love. To have a sustainable, wonderful, beautiful, everlasting, joyful relationship, we must have all three things in balance, and we must practice all three things. Maybe not daily, but regularly, if it's not weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, at least from time to time when we give some time to our relationship and we're not so busy from the real world, work and all these other things that we're practicing to become better and wonderful human beings. We can work on our relationships, and we have to always try to maintain these three things. Friendship. And I'll just explain friendship. Friendship is generally just spending that time with your spouse, whether it's just, even watching a film, sitting down, watching TV, or just hanging out, spending that social time, or turn the TV off and have some conversation and a bit of banter and a bit of laughter and really enjoy that time together and really do that peer bonding. It's wonderful. It's very important. Intimacy is that physical peer bonding, and it's wonderful even if you're just hugging. It's a form of intimacy, and it's very, very important. Love is obviously love, and how we describe love is in a million different ways, but today we'll just stick with love, and whatever idea you have of love, we'll just focus on what that is. So to have all three things in balance is how we maintain our beautiful relationships. And if one falls out or one is not there present in the relationship, it creates an imbalance, and the relationship will struggle to move forward, and it will struggle to have joy and any form of growth. So let's just knock off one for now, and let's knock off friendship, and we just have love and intimacy. If you're in love with someone and you have intimacy but you lack friendship, there can be a lot of arguments, or there could even be a lack of communication, which could make it like where you're living with somebody like as if you're just like a roommate or a housemate, and that can be very uncomfortable. So working on that level of friendship is very important. If we have friendship and love without the intimacy, we knock off intimacy, then what you kind of have there is a little bit of the friend zone, and it becomes very cold, and you become disconnected from that individual or the other person in the relationship. So you struggle to really get close to them. You can have that love for them, that care for them. You could even have that friendship, but if you're missing the side of intimacy, it becomes very unbalanced. And in our relationships, if we can look back and reflect on it, if there's ever been a time where we've lacked that, then you can see that, okay, yeah, that was really the imbalance, and that's what really caused a lot of imbalance and issues and discomfort within the relationship. If we remove love and we just have friendship and intimacy, what happens is that the relationship becomes very bitter. There is no care for that other person. You can end up becoming very hateful towards that person and not really enjoying their time as much, because you don't really love them. You're just kind of like passing time. You can maybe have fun here and there, like go out, be sociable, do dating and things like that. But if there isn't that love for that person, and you lack that chemical connection, that bond, then it can be very difficult to maintain that relationship, and then again it becomes imbalanced. So to have a nice healthy relationship, we must maintain each thing. We must do each work on each corner to try our best to gain that balance in relationships. And one thing that comes into the mix that can be very difficult at first is having children. And I have a small child. She's 8 months at this moment in time. One day she'll be watching this. She'll be a lot older, and it can be difficult at first, and especially as new parents. I can say, or even just having children and being experienced parents, you kind of end up focusing on that third person who's in the relationship, and you lose a little bit of balance between each other, and you become parents, and you forget that you're also spouses, or husband and wife, or husband or wife and wife, whatever your dynamics of relationships are. But we need to also go back to maintaining this relationship triangle, and remember, even when we're married or even when we have children, it's very, very important to do our best to maintain this form of relationship. Even having a pet or having several pets can also do this, because we can get distracted because we're not the only ones in the relationship. Or even when you're living with family or have family or relatives staying with you, it can also become difficult because you're not focusing on just the two of you, and that can become a little bit rough, and it can become a little bit harsh sometimes, because we don't truly understand how to communicate or express ourselves truly to our partners. And if we're lacking communication altogether, then that's also going to become very, very difficult, because we cannot communicate with our partners, we cannot express ourselves and share each other's emotions and ideas. Then it becomes a very two-sided place to be. Whereas when you're partners and you're in, or especially living together or just having a relationship together, it's very important to always be on the same page, to always have that form of communication, and to always be considerate to that other person and considerate for their emotions and feelings. Because as much as we're spending so much time trying to control our vibrations and raise them to be the best that we can be, we also have to bear in mind that there's also another person who's in this relationship, and we also have to focus on not just dividing all our attention to them and giving all it away, but just sharing intention and consideration for that other person's emotions and vibration, and understand and be aware and become a little bit empathic for when they are feeling low, and for when they need a bit of a boost, and really realize, okay, the other person really is a bit down. Maybe I should focus a little bit on energy, on raising their vibration, so we can keep our vibrations at the same sort of level. Because it's not so great when someone's on a high and someone's on a low, then there can be a little bit of discomfort again. And if you're both low, then obviously that can be really uncomfortable. So obviously the best thing to do is both be on the same sort of high level of frequency, so you can resonate together. And one thing I've mentioned before, and I'll mention it again, is a reliance of emotions. Do not give your emotions away to anybody. Do not allow the other person to be in control of when you're happy and when you're sad. The idea is to be in love with yourself and be happy by yourself when you can be by yourself, to then express and enjoy each other's happiness. But if you're not happy within yourself, then you cannot rely on someone else to make you happy. So you must make sure that you're happy within yourself. And if you're in a relationship and you're not happy within yourself, and you look for that other person to make you happy, then it's best to step away a little bit, not completely away and disconnect from your relationship, but step back and spend a little bit of time first, or that time you have by yourself, working on yourself, practicing self-love and loving yourself and falling in love with yourself, or creating good disciplines and better habits that make you happier within yourself. And when you're happy within yourself, you can then be joyful, and you can express yourself, and you can enjoy each other's happiness. But there's no point relying on someone else to say, okay, well, I need that person to make me happy because I'm down. Because that other person was never going to make you happy 100% of the time. We cannot rely on that other person to make us happy 100% of the time. So we must be happy within ourselves. No one can make us happy 100% of the time. They might make you momentarily happy, and they might make you smile for a minute or two, or even an hour or two, or even a day or two. However, that will fade, because we don't have happiness which is internal, and it's an internal thing that we are looking for. And when we're looking externally for something that's internal, we'll never find it. It's like, for example, if you lost your keys in the house and you looked outside, and I came along and said, what are you doing? You said, I'm looking for my keys. And I said, well, where did you lose them? I lost them inside. Or I'd ask, why are you not looking inside? It's the same thing with happiness. Why are we looking externally for something that's internal? Why do we look for material that makes us happy? These are momentary happiness. Why are we looking for to escape reality with certain things that we do? It's a momentary happiness. What we need to do is find internal happiness. And when we find that internal happiness, we can be joyful for others around us, and we can really commit to being loving and being careful to other people and other people in our relationships and other people in our households. So if this is something that you can relate to, please do let me know in the comments, drop me a message, or if there's something that you want to work on with, or if you need some coaching or some advice, or if you're looking for a therapist, I can point you in the right direction to help with some happiness, or if you just need some coaching to understand how to break it down and really get into those forms of happiness, please get in touch, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.